Hey guys, today I'm going to show you two different ways to make shrimp fettuccine Alfredo. A quick and fast way where you don't need a whole lot of time. It's a cream-based sauce, pretty easy to make. The other way uses fresh pasta and shows you more of an authentic experience. Let's get started. To make the fresh pasta dough, you'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a pinch of salt, 4 eggs, and a rolling pin. Measure out 2 cups of flour, mound it up, and make a well in the center. Now crack 2 eggs into the center of your well. To separate the yolks, crack the egg into your hand and let it run through your fingers. The egg white should fall through and you'll be left with just the yolk. Now add these to your well and gently incorporate the flour with the eggs. Your well might fall apart like mine did, but just do your best. Now add a pinch of salt. When the dough comes together, knead it for a solid 5 minutes. If your dough is sticking to your hands, lightly dust it with flour. You can also rinse your hands under water if the dough is too dry. Push with the heel of your hand and rotate it with your other hand. After that, the dough should feel pretty soft. We'll wrap it in plastic wrap and let it rest for at least 30 minutes on the counter.
I will be making the quick and easy sauce. We use it on weeknights whenever we're kind of in a hurry. The kids love this sauce, and it may not be exactly how you remember or how you've tried, but it's just what works for us. I will be using 1 quart of heavy whipping cream, 6 ounces of the pre-shredded Parmesan cheese, and 1 stick of butter, which is half a cup. I'm going to add some onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of salt and pepper. I typically don't add actual garlic since I cook it with the shrimp and I don't want it to be overpowering for the sauce.
Now that our dough is rested, we'll start rolling it out. If the dough seems a little sticky, just lightly dust it with some flour. If it's too hard to roll, let it rest for about another 10 minutes or so. It should relax, making it easier. Rotate the dough every so often to make sure you're rolling it into a uniform shape about 1/8 of an inch thick. You don't need a tape measure, but you also don't want it paper thin. If you can't roll it that thin, it's okay. You'll just need to cook it a little bit longer. Roll it into a rectangle around 10 inches long. Once it's rolled out, I would highly suggest sprinkling it with flour before rolling it up. Now take a sharp knife and cut it into strips about 1/4 inch wide. If you added enough flour in the last step, you won't need to unroll each individual noodle like I did. Sprinkle a sheet tray with semolina flour or all-purpose, put the noodles on, sprinkle again, and cover with a towel.
Now that the sauce has been simmering for a while, I'm going to go ahead and add 6 more ounces of the cheese to it. So this is shredded Parmesan. This will really help thicken it up and it'll be nice and creamy.
So most shrimp come with the shell on. I prefer to remove the entire shell, set it in its own bowl. These shrimp are also deveined. If they weren't, I would take a knife, run it along the back, pull the vein out, have 2 bowls, 1 for the shell, 1 for the shrimp. I like to use extra jumbo shrimp. The size is really nice, so they stand out really well against the sauce and the noodles. These are wild-caught shrimp. This is just what we had in our freezer. You can use colossal, small, big, any kind, whatever you have. Oof. All right, shrimp are done. Let's wash our hands, get started on the next step. We have one of these slick colander things. Pretty sweet. We got about 6-8 cloves of garlic here. We'll just go ahead and give this a nice chop and then put it in while our shrimp are cooking. I like to take a couple paper towels, set them down on the plate, lay the shrimp here, and we dry these off because when they have moisture in them, they don't like to sear as much, get as much color, and we want that nice color, good flavor in there. Get them nice and seasoned. So just give these a quick toss, season the other side, bit of kosher salt, and let's get them cooking.
I'm going to be putting some salt into the boiling water. It helps the noodles taste better. I usually put a couple tablespoons in. Noodles. Noodles. The noodles cooked about 5 minutes. We will go ahead and take them off the heat, and they're just about ready to eat. All finished.
The fresh pasta takes about 2 to 3 minutes to cook. Don't worry if it's not fully cooked when it comes out. We'll finish cooking it in the sauce. To start our sauce, we'll add a couple ladles of the pasta water. Start with about 2. About a half a stick of butter. Add the rest of our butter. Now we'll add 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. Stir that in. Parsley right on top. Give that a quick toss. All right, so get this on a plate. Put some shrimp on. Fresh parsley.